Welcome to Real World Multiplication, connecting classroom maths to the community. Mathematics is the quiet rhythm that shapes our world, from a builder's blueprint to the beats of a song. Today we'll focus on how to make multiplication real, relevant, and exciting for Year 4 learners. Our curriculum outcome, AC9, M4 and 06, asks students to model and represent multiplication and division and recognize their relationship. Across this session, we'll explore three powerful approaches: explicit instruction, inquiry learning, and community connection. Together they create a classroom where numeracy is more than numbers, it is a lived experience. Why numeracy matters. Students often ask, when will I ever use this? And our answer has to be more than you'll need it later. Numeracy is pervasive, it's everywhere, in cooking, sport, music, shopping, and the rhythms of everyday life. When students see that, mathematics becomes meaningful. Hattie in 2009 shows us that contextualized learning deepens engagement. When ideas connect to emotion and relevance, memory strengthens. Imagine explaining multiplication through real contexts. A farmer building fences, a barista counting cups in a cafe, or a netball coach setting up drills. These snapshots turn abstraction into understanding. Numeracy isn't just about competence, it's about confidence, decision-making, and participation. Our task as teachers is to help students recognize that maths is not a school subject, it's a life skill woven through their communities. So let's look at an explicit instruction scene, which truly is the launch pad for deeper understanding. Picture a Year 4 classroom. I draw 3 rows of 4 counters. Let's count together. I say 4, 8, 12. What do you notice? The students erupt, equal groups. I write 3 times 4 equals 12 and explain that the X symbol means groups of. We practice with real items, pencils in jars, muffins on trays, before moving to arrays on paper. The sequence we follow is I do, we do, you do. Modeling first, practicing together, then allowing the students to have a chance of independent application. Differentiation flows naturally through this. Tactile learners can manipulate counters, visual learners can use color coding, and advanced learners explore area models. Throughout, I as the educator will ask probing questions. How do you know this? What if we added 1 more row? To check they're getting a conceptual grasp of the concept. Explicit teaching gives students the confidence to explore. It's not mechanical, it's empowering. It equips them with language and structure before they dive into discovery. Now let's look at inquiry learning. Once the foundation is strong, through explicit instruction, we can open the door to inquiry with a single question: how far can we jump? Outside on the oval, students measure standing jumps with meter tapes. Each group records results and multiplies. 4 students times 2 meters equals 8 meters total. Laughter and data collect side by side. Some students test decimals, others compute averages, and everyone feels ownership of the maths. Inquiry transforms symbols into sensations. The numbers finally mean something. They describe their own bodies in motion. I, as the educator, can prompt thinking. How can we make this fair? Why is accuracy important? Suddenly, they're not just doing maths, they're discussing variables and consistency. Scientific reasoning disguised as play. Differentiation is effortless. Support learners count in whole meters. Confident learners can explore pattern and measurement precision. Assessment happens in real time as I note reasoning and teamwork. Inquiry connects curiosity with rigor. They're hand in hand. It reminds us that students don't learn by being told, they learn by doing, reflecting, and sharing discoveries. Now let's move to community connections. We bring mathematics to life through the people around us. I can ask who uses multiplication in our community, and the responses will pour in. It's a great brainstorming activity. They might say builders, parents, shopkeepers, gamers even. And we can watch short clips together, a builder planning a fence, a chef scaling recipes, a shop owner calculating stock. Students will recognize that the same operation they learned in class powers real jobs. I can then challenge them, create a community maths poster showing how someone you know uses multiplication. One student draws her dad painting walls, calculating coverage per litre. Another sketches her grandma quilting, rows and columns of patches. These tasks cultivate both pride and inclusion. They affirm that every family, trade and culture already contains vital mathematics. For multilingual learners, these visuals make meaning tangible. For gifted students, it is a springboard for creativity. Linking maths with community satisfies the curriculum's emphasis on relevance and cross-curricular priorities like intercultural understanding. Ultimately, students leave knowing maths isn't trapped inside textbooks, it breathes through their community. Let's not forget teacher reflection. When the lesson ends, reflection begins. As the educator, I'll ask myself, which strategies resonated? Who thrived in structure? Who flourished in inquiry? Reflection converts experience into expertise. It's where we meet the graduate teacher standards, specifically 1.3, 2.1, and 2.5. These are not just checkboxes, but are mirrors for ourselves as educators. As the educator, I can reread student journals, listen to their explanations, and note where misconceptions might linger, and then I can adjust tomorrow's plan accordingly. Reflection is absolutely not self-criticism. It's professional gratitude, a moment to celebrate growth and refine practice. Great teaching lives in that rhythm of action and reflection. Assessment in action. Assessment is woven through every moment. It's not a final exam, it's the gentle pulse of feedback. During explicit lessons, the educator can observe and explain. You can observe students explaining patterns. In inquiry, I can assess collaboration and reasoning. I can utilize quick check-ins such as a thumbs up, thumbs down, exit slips, mini conferences. They give me real-time insight. Not just waiting for the final assessment to see where they're at, but doing it in the moment is what matters. I invite student voice, color-coded cards, or reflection questions such as, today I used multiplication when. These self-assessments reveal confidence levels and guide reteaching. Assessment, especially when used formatively, humanizes learning. It assures students that mistakes are part of the progress. It aligns with Standard 2.5. Assessment must inform instruction and celebrate growth. True assessment is less about marks and more about moments of understanding. In terms of teacher takeaways, there are 4 takeaways that you have to embed in your practice. Explicit modeling builds clarity. Let students hear your reasoning as the educator aloud. Number 2, inquiry fuels ownership. Curiosity sustains motivation far longer than repetition ever will. Number 3, community connections create relevance. Bring local voices, trades, and culture into math lessons. Number 4, reflection and differentiation ensure equity. Use evidence to tailor next steps. When these elements work together in perfect unison, math becomes alive. A cycle of modeling, exploring, connecting, and refining. That is authentic numeracy teaching. And then, to deepen your own professional reflection, consider these 3 questions. How can explicit instruction and inquiry coexist in your numeracy block? Could a clear model precede an open exploration? Number 2, which community context could energize your students? Local markets, trades, arts, sports, it's up to you. Number 3, how might you use formative assessment to empower student voice rather than simply measure outcomes? Share these questions with colleagues. use them in planning meetings or professional learning communities. Collective reflection transforms good schools into great ones. This presentation specifically aligns with the Australian Curriculum Mathematics version 9, Year 4 Number and Algebra that we discussed earlier, AC 9, M4 and 06, and the Australian Graduate Standards 1.3, 2.1, 2.5, 6.2 and 6.4. Teaching mathematics is teaching empowerment. Multiplication is more than repeated addition, it's repeated opportunity. It builds bridges between reasoning and reality. As you return to your own classroom, remember, every number tells a story, every array represents effort, and every child carries potential waiting to be multiplied. Thank you for your commitment to making mathematics meaningful, inclusive, and alive. Thank you.